Alright, going to give an update on the 4L60E and really more of my experience trying to deal with monster transmissions. So we've done a cam upgrade on it's an 06 5.3 GMC Envoy. And I know there's a glare on there, but that's their writing, monster built 2K stall. And so when we did the cam upgrade on it, and I've covered up my personal information, but you can see that I bought it earlier this year. This is the last day of July on the 2024. Now it took a little while to tear this down and decide that, hey, we kind of got took. But you can see torque converter 2000 stall, paid the pricing, all the information here. There was nothing wrong with this transmission. We upgraded the camshaft on it, and while we were doing it, we decided, hey, let's go ahead and upgrade the transmission torque converter to give us a little more stall to compensate for the cam. It's more or less a package deal. Now, I've showed this in other videos. Those are the clutches and steels on one of the gear sets. I'm not going to pull the rest of them out. None of them were really smoked. Now, this filter right here slides into a portion of the pump. We've got part of the pump basically slides in there. This is actually what you see on the side of the pump, and maybe I'll do a better video later. All of this debris came out of this torque converter, and this torque converter has less than 50 miles on it. Now, why am I doing another video on it? Well, a couple of reasons. The symptom we had immediately when we put it in, and no, for anybody out there, it was locked all the way into the front pump. It wasn't a situation where we didn't have all the engagement. The converter was installed correctly. I am a master certified technician. Actually, me and another tech were the ones that have done the majority of this. He's also master certified in probably 40 plus years. I'm north of 20. So converter was installed and pumped correctly. And I've heard pump noise before, but typically it's when you have pump noise, you have it all the time. In this instance, we had it in drive and we had it in reverse, but neutral and park, which on a GM transmission, the pump is still running. As well as the 2000 stall really was not there. This was engaged a significant amount of the time. And essentially what happened is whenever they built this, they didn't build it correctly. And I should probably be upset about that, but I'm not terribly upset about that. I'll tell you what I'm upset about here in a minute. And it allowed too much heat to build up, and it folded over the seals on several of my pistons, or of the pistons for this friend of mine's transmission. So we're going to go through and upgrade it. We're not putting a monster transmission or a monster torque converter back in it. We've ordered a Precision. I know the bench is a mess. Before we start building it, we're going to clean all that off. We've also gone and done quite a few upgrades. We're putting a different drum in here. New clutches, obviously. We're going with a wider band. We've got a whole box of parts across the shop. We're doing the Z-Pack as well as redoing the pressure regulator or the diaphragms in there. Actually, we're just going to replace all that portion of it. My concern is I come over here and I call them, and it talks all about their warranty and how that goes. And the first time I call them, I get somebody on the phone, and they say, okay, we're going to start a claim or whatever we're going to do, and somebody will call you. Never called me back. So I've called them every day or every other day for the last 2 weeks. Their on hold music has changed because they've taken a bunch of money and put into their marketing, and they're marketing with all these famous big, Discovery Channel people and etc. And now they're so busy they can't call you back. So basically what I'm telling you is their warranty, at least for my mileage, is invalid. It does nothing. As well as I had another friend of mine bought a whole unit from them, and I'm sure there's a lot of good, happy customers out there, but they're apparently outgrown themselves because this thing is trash. It absolutely killed the rest of the transmission. It overheated enough that it killed the seals inside of it. And we had had the pan off of this twice previously, making sure everything was good during the engine upgrades. So I knew the internals on this very, very well as we drove this in stock form for quite a while before we did anything. So for my money and my mileage, I would not put any stake in Monster Transmission's warranty or really their builds or parts, unfortunately. And I hate to say that. I feel like maybe they used to be a good brand, but as of 2024, and like I said, you can see the date on there, I called them on the phone. I told them the specs of what we were doing for the engine. They supposedly custom built this one, and whatever they did inside there is not correct. And so now we're paying the price on all this. We're going to have well over $1,500, $1,600 in parts and many hours in fixing this thing. And I can't even get Monster to step up and do their part. They'll probably never see this video, but I hope this saves somebody else some heartache out there.